Everybody knows the culture. Like,
That's what I was trying to say.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Model Talk. It's your boy Teddy J in the building.
And it's your boy Big Neil.
It's your girl Cara. Nikki says YOLO.
West of Tech in the building.
You got your girl CJ Jazz, your girl's favorite DJ.
And today we have a very special guest. Marketing manager, strategist, a brand manager, artist manager, the one and only Dante Spank
Okay.
Brown. In the building.
Yes, sir.
How y'all doing?
How you doing, Spank?
Pretty good, man. Can't complain. Happy to be here.
For sure.
man.
One question before we start. How'd you get that nickname, Spank?
Yeah.
Sound like a pimp name, Spank.
Well, so that name goes back far, far before my adult years. I was a kid, and I used to get in a lot of trouble. If you're familiar with Little Rascals,
Yeah.
my grandma said I was kind of like the kid Spanky.
Okay.
I'm crying.
So yeah, I was always coming up with like a grandiose idea, something to do, in which always kind of led me and my cousins in some trouble. And I was almost like the ringleader. So yeah, they just started calling me Spanky. And then
just stuck
as
with
I
it.
got older, I took the Y off.
Okay.
So you got spanked a lot?
Yeah.
Was it with the hand or with a belt?
Both. Switches.
Yeah.
Switch.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
sweet.
didn't experience it all.
My grandmother had me go pick my own switch.
Good night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that, but I used to get a little
Yeah.
smallest little switch.
Those are the worst, though.
I'm American,
the
but I
smallest
just
ones are
found
the
out that I
worst.
have a little Native American in me.
Okay.
I
Do
just
you know?
found
Do you
that
know
out.
which? Do you know
How you
what
found that
tribe?
So we recently had a family gathering for my grandmother's 99th birthday. 99th birthday.
Wow.
And my grandmother, she was giving us kind of like some of our family history,
Right.
and it led back to the fact that we were a part of like the Cherokee tribe.
Oh,
I didn't know that. That's one part of my history I was never familiar with.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good,
That's
good to know.
Oh, that's super dope. So tell us, being a manager and all, what are some of the people you have managed and what's the experience been like?
So lately, what I've been focusing on is like the management of some of the local talent here. So if you're familiar with Max Kayla, she used to go by the name Maxie from the Trap. I manage her. There's another young lady by Tanier, but I was her brand manager.
Okay.
I wasn't like her day-to-day manager, just her brand manager and project manager.
Okay.
And then also there's two artists in Atlanta, one by the name of Euro Got It, that I have managed. Who else did I manage? With a little minute. There's a Charades, but she doesn't even rap anymore.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if anybody's familiar with her, but she's originally from Fort Lauderdale as well.
Okay.
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 And then so really from my management side, that's really all the artists that I've managed. And then I've done just a few little break off projects for here and there.
Okay.
I'm slowly but surely matriculating out of the management space.
Oh no, why is that?
Artist management is crazy, man. It's
Yeah.
hard.
I bet.
And it's not even the fact that it's hard. It's just sometimes the artists are not consistent enough. And when the artist is not consistent, it kind of makes you like just not really want to intertwine with it anymore. And my last situation where I invested a lot of money had me like, I don't think I want to manage no more. And if I do, it's just not going to be in a situation where I'm doing the investing. I'll be taking budgets from others or like a label or something if they bring me in to manage the artist, and I'll do it that way. But I won't do it where I'm putting up my own upfront money.
Well, how do you vet like an artist? Like, how do you choose who to work with?
So back then, it really was just really based off of, their grind. Like if I see them really hustling, going hard for themselves, and I can say, okay, I can take a chance on you because I trust that you're gonna go above and beyond, and you're not gonna take like my time and my money for granted, I'll do it. Now today, my vetting process is a little different. I still want to see work ethic, but also I want to see your professionalism as well, your knowledge. Are you able to take criticism? Because can I trust that I can put you in a room with people where when they give you criticism, you're not gonna take it and get offensive and make me look bad. Because I've had artists have done that. We got them in studios with some very good people, and they embarrassed me. It's like now I have to watch like how you move. Can you take criticism from me as well? Because I know I'm not the easiest person to work with when it comes to managing, because I have a strict way that I do things. And so if I ask you to do something, I'm expecting it to be done in a timely fashion. And when it's not done, I don't really repeat myself.
So what about
You don't think it
following?
will?
Number of followers, likes, that I
Yeah.
mean,
Right
views,
now-
does that matter
So
too?
in this space, yes.
Yeah.
At one time, I didn't care about that because I was always like, I can create that for you because I know how to make that. I can get if you don't have the numbers, I can get you there. If you don't have the following, I can get you there. But now, if I want to work with artists, yes, I do look at followers now. I need a minimum of 15K. At
okay.
least 15K on your own.
Yeah.
I got a question. Is do the artists work for you or do you work for them?
You're technically supposed to work for the artist.
Right.
But now it's like, so this is where that whole idea comes into play when you say, if you're investing, if I'm the investor, you work for me.
I hear you.
Oh.
But now if you're paying me, if you're making money and we're making money together and, I'm going to be able to get my 20, my 15, my 10% out of you, then cool. I'm doing whatever you say. But then at the same time, as the manager, you still have me here as your manager for a reason, which means I still have to hold you accountable because just because you're the artist and just because I work for you, my job is still predicated on your success.
True.
And that means if you are slacking and I allow you to slack as your manager just because I work for you, then that's a problem. Because as manager, I don't just supposed to do what you say. I'm here to hold you accountable of everything that you're supposed to be doing.
So what would you say is the hardest? What's the hardest thing you had to face when you're managing an artist? Like the thing you hate the most?
Lack of motivation.
Okay.
When the artists get to a point where they're not motivated to do nothing, there's nothing you can do or tell them to do to make them get up and do it.
Gotcha.
And that's hard to work with because then, like, there's times, let's just say we got an opportunity on the way and you call on the artist and you want to get them on the phone like, hey, we need you to do something now because this opportunity can't wait. If they're not in the mood to do it, they just not going to do it. And now that's the opportunity lost. And then they look at you like, well, what's next?
What would you say to those artists who feel like they don't need management anymore? Being that they could distribute on their own, they could get their own followings, they could contact other artists directly through social media. What do managers really offer now that an artist cannot do themselves?
The ability for the artist to stay the artist.
Yeah.
Because having a good manager, a good one at that, if you have a good manager in place, it allows the artist the ability to just focus on being a creator, create their music, focus on building their brands in a way that they don't have to worry about the business side. Because when you start to teeter-totter in between business and creative, it's two different lanes. And that business side can totally take the artist away from their creative side. Like, I know one of the artists that I worked with, he literally just fell out of love with music after a while because he was so indulged in the business side. And the business made him hate the music.
Yeah.
Okay, that
So
makes
he was
sense.
just like, you know what? I think I want to just start to focus on my YouTube. I want to focus on building my brand here. And especially because that's where most of the money was coming from anyway, he was just like, music is not it for me no more. And that partially came because he got so involved into the business side.
And I think it's also important to have a manager for an artist because a lot of labels or a lot of people who you would like to get respect from won't respect you as an independent artist without any type of representation.
Really? Right.
A lot of times they won't meet with you in a room if they find out you're representing yourself. They don't like to deal with people like that. So it's really important to have your own management that can represent you in the business. So like he said, you could just be focused on the artist because they don't like dealing with the artist when it comes to business. Trust me.
And also negotiating too as well. So how do you negotiate? What was one of your toughest negotiations for one of your artists?
Let's see. The toughest negotiation, it depends. So we had one artist that we got onto a show for a concert in what was that? It was a Christmas show down in Atlanta. And that wasn't my artist directly that I was managing. It was someone else's artist, but they wanted me to come in and actually act as representation because they was like, you a good negotiator, so I need you to come in and do it. They didn't want to pay her.
Oh, wow.
Now that she had the following, she had everything. They didn't want to pay her. And I was just like, no, we're going to get her paid. So I went in the room, I talked to the promoters and I showed them all her numbers. Like, she got this, and she can bring out a room. They was like, yeah, but we just really not feeling like we want to pay her. Like, we just don't want to get her no money. And I'm like, well, bro, but you want her on your show.
Yeah.
You
see
get
value in her.
You reached out to her, so you see the value. So why you don't want to pay her, even if it's just $500?
Yeah.
He was like, all right, well, we're going to think about it. So what I ended up doing was I actually contacted other promoters in the city and basically had them bid to put her on their events on that same night. And then I came back to them and I say, well, she got these offers right here, and they willing to pay her this, but we really want her over here with you. Now, do you want to make that work or not? He was like, I'll get back to you. He got to me the same day. He was like, come on, bro, let's just go.
All right.
Mainly based off my relationship and my ability to also just show him there is a demand. It's just, I'm willing to give it to you because we know you. You know, and not only because I have a personal relationship with you, but other than that, we can go in these other places. We can go in these other directions. His whole thing was, as a promoter, he felt like, yes, she had value, but she ain't moving like that. But the thing was, she was moving like that on TikTok. And just she never did a live show. No. But she had enough following to get people in the room. Right. And that's all it took. And if we could show that, then it was a shoe-in.
So we know that you worked with Slip and Slide. How was that?
Working with Slip and Slide was good. Working with Slip and Slide was the beginning of my career. Yeah, like, so the beginning of my professional career, I said that way. Because when I first started getting into marketing and promoting, I was in high school at the time. And I was...
So you've been doing this for a while.
Very long time. And at that time, I don't know if any of y'all familiar with Spode Entertainment.
No.
So she did all the teen club events in Broward County. And at the time, she was working with Kodak when Kodak was really, really young. And she had Eye Candy at the time when Eye Candy had first started doing music. And I wanted to work for her. I wanted to be on her promotions team because she was lit. And I really just wanted to get in the clubs for free. So I was like, you know, I hit her up because she used to come right there in front of Stranahan. If y'all familiar with Stranahan High School. Yeah. That's where I went to school at. So she used to come right there in front of the school, and what I did was I asked her, I said, can I be on your promotions team? And she was like, I'm not really looking for no new people right now, so I'll let you know. I was like, but no, I can definitely get a team together. I can bring people out. I just want to be a part of your team. So she still told me no the first time. What I ended up doing was, when there was some guys who went to my school who had like flyers and stuff, I was like, bro, just give me your flyers. And I took his flyers. I was like, I'm passing them out for you. You ain't got to pay me nothing. You ain't got to do the work. I'm going to just pass them out for you. I strategically did that just so I can walk out that same day and walk in front of her and pass the flyers out.
Yeah.
So I passed the flyers out and she
build your value.
Me, and she was like, you're not on my team. And I was like, nah, I want to be on your team and I'm showing you. So she was like, you know what? Come on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So she threw me on the team. So I'm been these weeks going by. I was passing out flyers every weekend for her events, and she used to bring the city out. Like I said, we were like 16 years old at the time, 16, 15 years old. After that, I was like, you know what? I like this. This is what I like. So that was like my first step into like the guerrilla marketing, street team marketing stuff. Yeah. So fast forward, I go to college. I go to FAM. I get to FAMU and I'm like, I still want to be involved in music some type of way. But I segued out of it for a second to where I went to sports side, and that later comes back into my career now. But going backwards, this was the starting point. I go into sports and I start doing like PR work, helping some of the football players at Florida State build their brands off the field. Ooh. So even going to that before, at this time, NIL was not a thing. It didn't even exist. And so I ended up helping some of the football players at Florida State, and I ended up getting a cease and desist from Florida State Athletic.
They shut you down.
Because, and she brought me to her office. I'm thinking, okay, she bringing me to her office because they want me to work with Florida State. So cool. She bring me to the office and say, Mr. Brown, I appreciate what you're doing, but I'm going to have to ask you to not do that again because you can cost our players their scholarships, their careers, etc. Yeah. So I was bummed. I was like, gosh, well, that's a killer.
Dang.
Now it's back. Now you can do it.
Right. Fast forward, now it's a thing, and I could have been making money for it then. But it just gave me more confidence because it showed me I was ahead of the game.
To learn at that time.
But I was like, all right, I got to do something. So I talked to one of my professors, and she was like, you know, just do what you're doing. Just do it in music. You know, it's almost like the same industry. Yeah. It's just on another side.
It's entertainment,
So I started looking online, and I remembered, I was like, I always wanted to work for Slip and Slide. I'm getting ready to go home for the summer. I need something to do. And I was working at Enterprise Rental Car at the time. I sent my email to, at the time, her name was Keisha. She worked for Slip and Slide.
Yeah.
She worked for Slip and Slide at the time, and I emailed her, and I told her I wanted to come and do an interview. She was taking too long to get me back for an interview, So I showed up to the office. At this time, the
Oh,
office
you're
was on
very
South Beach.
consistent.
Yes, I like that.
I pulled up to the door. Ted Lucas opens the door, and I said, I have an interview. Now, I knew exactly who he was. I just acted as if I didn't.
Yeah.
But I said, I have an interview with Keisha. I did not have an interview with Keisha. She did not confirm. She never confirmed the time, no nothing.
I'm just trying to get in the room with the right people.
Right.
At this point,
All I needed to know was who the name of the person who sets up the interviews, and I can take it from here. And that's what I did.
Yeah.
And when I came prepared. So I didn't just show up unprepared. I came prepared. So I had my suit on, my little olive green suit and my little white shirt. And I had a presentation ready of what I could offer the company, what I saw that they were probably lacking at the time. I researched the artists that they had on the label at the time, which they had just started really putting time into Tanier. And then they was really developing Mike Smith at the time. And then they had another young lady, little white girl, I forget her name though. She was on some Nickelodeon stuff. But yeah. So I had a presentation ready of what I could do with these artists, what I saw that was lacking, what I saw that could be improved, and it was a shoot. And they asked me to come back the next day, and I
There
had
you
the
go.
job.
On your way in.
Yeah,
Yeah. See, persistent. Yes.
That was my hunger, and even
Yeah.
fast forward to today, I still move with that same level of hunger.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Persistence.